going over my head with all my thoughts being so unruly. But then, at the right moment, that time being with the Lord, wisdom is given. And I know, you see, we're Americans, you know. We are the McDonald generation. If God doesn't put up now, I'm not going to do this time. I'm not going to spend time. Well, you see, that's the big problem with priests. I'm a priest. We get all busy with our work, you see. We get all busy with what we're doing. We've got all the people coming to us if we have a heart like Jesus. But not to spend time with Jesus. Not to spend time with Jesus is to rip myself off and to rip people off too. That's just like that. And you see, this is something that you're dealing with today, and you'll be dealing with it in 20 years. Because the first thing to always go is prayer. And I'll tell you why. Because no one is holding you accountable. And if no one holds you accountable, I'm going to tell you, you will fall off the side. The Lord told me you must not let prayer go. I'm going to do all these great things through you, but you must not let prayer go. You must not let prayer go. And you will be tempted to do it. Why? Because I'm going to tell you, my friends, I don't get any satisfaction in prayer. You know the song? I can't get no satisfaction. I don't get the warm fuzzies. But to be with you is what I want. To be with you is what I want. And even though I don't get the warm fuzzies, to be with you is my delight. For whom else in heaven do I have but you? Whom else in heaven do I have but you? Whom else in heaven do I have but you? You alone. You see, it was my big problem in the seminary, and I spent time. It was my big problem as a priest, as a young priest, and I spent time. Oh, but there were days and weeks that I fudged. It was my big problem at every turn on the road. And it's still my big problem. Starting again, over and over again, to be with the Lord. Everybody went to his own house, and Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, and he was faced with a predicament. He was on the horns of a dilemma. What shall we do with this woman? Moses said she should be stoned. But you know what? You are the merciful teacher. Ha ha ha. Now we gotcha. We gotcha. But Jesus rode on the ground. My Lord, sometimes that's what we need to do, is just ride on the ground and not attack the dilemma that we're in. And not attack the dilemma that we're in. Sometimes we just need to ride on the ground and not go after the dilemma, to let it be, and to just go to the Lord. Not even thinking of the dilemma falling on our face. That's what we need to do sometimes. And then things begin to work out. That's why, we offer adoration at the Holy Rosary. And you know what? I'm going to tell you a secret. Okay, can you hear me? Don't tell anybody. If you think I have adoration for the people, you're out of your mind. I have it for myself. Because it makes me go there. And anybody who wants to join me can be there. If you think I'm really doing it for the people, you're out of your mind. I'm doing it for myself. And if anybody wants to join me, they can do it. Because when I appoint a time that I have to be there, I will be there. I've learned this. Have I learned it well? No, I haven't learned it well. To tell you that I've learned it well, I'd be a liar. But you know what? I'm still a learner. I'm still a learner, you know. I'm still, you know, a special student. But I do know time with the Lord cannot be compromised. Especially with what we're going through now in the church and we're going now in the government. Time with the Lord cannot be compromised. And I understand it's the easiest thing in the world to do. I've done it over and over and over again. And then I have to start again. You know what? That's okay. It's okay. I just tell you my faults, my gaping faults, and they help you because you're just like me. Time to start again. That's all. It's as easy as that. You know, I don't present myself as a paradigm. I am not a paradigm. I'm doing the best I can. And probably many times I don't. So can I just tell you this again? Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Well, everybody went home. Where do you go? Where do you go? In the morning, where do you go? In the evening, where do you go? In the middle of the day, where do you go? I'll tell you why we're so impotent. Because when Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, we all go home. And we go do our business. Word to the wise is sufficient. Now let's look at the Archbishop of Boston. Now he is on the horns of a dilemma. He is on the horns of a dilemma. Right now at the St. Elizabeth's Hospital, in the county hospital, they are flying these big banners. You know, these power to the people banners with the stethoscope. Big banners from these two hospitals. They've had big campaigns about Caritas Christi, about, you know, helping the poor in Roxbury and Hyde Park and East Boston and all that stuff. And to join that Centene group would be to help the poor. So right now, the Archbishop of Boston is on the horns of a dilemma. Because if he goes with Centene, then we have to make abortion referrals. And if he doesn't go with Centene, then he will be hated by the Herald and the Globe. And he will be hurled at as a man who doesn't care for the poor. The devil has placed him in this situation. It's so real to me. It's so real to me. And the big problem was when his administration, probably under Brian Hayar, sought the Centene company out themselves. That was the big problem. And who's going to take the fallout? The Archbishop. Now you see what I'm saying? The big problem was, you know, when they sought the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to help us in the healthcare to care for the poor. But to care for the poor means we have to refer people to abortions, sterilization, and also birth control. The Archbishop is on the horns of a dilemma.